No? I think I might actually have another crop today, so. There are women in the community and in my building who are not women. They're men. Women's bodies. You know how we say like a woman can be trapped in a man's body, or you can feel like a man trapped in a woman's body? I think there needs to be. I don't. I have nothing wrong with transsexual in principle. You know, like whatever you need to be, kind of thing. I may or may not like you, depending or even because I might not like you because of your sexual orientation. There may be things that you say that are part of your station, which I don't like. Right? There may be things that I say, this is who I am as a man, but you may not like how I behave. And you would say, well, I don't like you as a man. But so if I talk about sexual reversal in predators and psychopaths, nothing again the mix and match of the gender that humans pretty much have to, want to, need to, or born needing to their own particular safety and determination and goodness and soundness and existence. Okay, no problem. I don't know about all of it. I don't know enough to agree with it, accept it. It's not my job to condone it. And I don't know. We don't know. You know, maybe. and we can speak academically about gender, sex, human origins, and all kinds of things. We can speculate, but I don't want to offend. It is a creative area of interpretation. It may be that by talking about gender, I figure out what gender I am. You know, uh, but I'm born a male, and that's what I think I am at the moment. But as much as I live in the same world as everyone else does, I'm sure I've had to have a little fluidity to my system, whether it fits into your concept of fluidity or not. But the women in my building are gender reversed. They are men, essentially in women's bodies, or men presenting themselves as women. Predators I've seen are like men presenting themselves by women, or women presenting themselves as men. And these are people that are usually the most passive aggressive and like me the least, right? Maybe because I'm like them. I don't know. Maybe I'm a woman trapped in a man's body or something. But whatever it is, there's a disconnect. So I had to curse them, which means it's protective, and it's a really good day to do that. I just saw a Spirit of the Raven. It's a really good day to do that, to do magic. I find it's been a really good day for that. I'm feeling a strength in my constitution. I'm sensing why I've been anxious. I've processed a lot. And now, finally, the revelation of I've been dealing with my mom and other women in the building talking shit about me, essentially. And it's so creepy that I come home and tell my mom, like, oh, I've had my ups and downs and anxieties, and she just never seems to care what's bothering me. But I think she sees that as a reason to want to get rid of me. Like, she's engaged in a sort of pathogenic behavior, a little bit. So, but we'll see. See if we can make use of it. Okay, let's go. I like cursing people. Cursing people, I get passionate. There has to be a confluence of, there's an awareness that have the emotional force. Man, man, if you're doing anything, man, man. Oh, today's video is the last one. Let's go. Yeah, so I do cursing, and I never know how long it's going to take or necessarily what's going to happen. We give it a go. Let's go this way today. This way. Chicka bomb. Hey, chicka bomb. Hey, all right. Good, 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 good. Here's some river. Hello. Lovely. Hello. So I'm pretty sure my mom has been talking shit about me again. So, and that's heightened my anxiety. It brings a factor of disintegration into my health. And she was worse when she would drink. And it's just like, Mom, you have a bad habit of running me down to other people. We live together, we don't live together. Like, we're in this situation now, that we're in. And, understand that I've been very patient with you. As much as you've been patient with me, I've been patient with you. You have to be very patient with someone who makes you sick and sends you to hospital time and time again. Like, just have some humility. And if my mom heart would open, which is not going to, hanging around with these cunts, right? She might see that I'm not so bad a guy. I'm not sure where to go. I'm gonna go this way, right? She might get something that she's looking for. She feels trapped quite often, I think, because she doesn't know how to get what she's looking for. She has to find a way to open her heart to me a bit more. Christmas was okay because I think she was kind of into it. Now it's like she talks to these women, and these women are demonic, essentially. So they encourage her to close her heart to me, right? They're predatory. They like or need, usually, to have a disintegrating effect on men's lives. This creepy woman said, I didn't even know her. She came up to me and said, oh, say hi to your mom for me. Like, oh, okay. Who's this lady? And so that's territorial. It says, I'm showing you that I know who you are. I'm showing you, right? This woman has never talked to me before. When I see her, she seems to want to interact with me. And all of a sudden she's coming up to me at the elevator saying this, right? That's, my mom has gotten her to lower her inhibitions about me in some way. So it's really creepy. Right? These are creepy women. Right? And my mom shouldn't be consulting with them. They're people who use her. They're people who have used her. And they're using her now. They just use people. There's this fucking woman, Tammy, in the building, or Patty. Fucking Patty. There was a Patty in my high school. I remember that now. And she was such an ugly person. So it's almost like, it always seemed like her eyes were actually, she was so it seemed like they were kind of slightly moving in two different directions. Like the cross-eyed. And people, why aren't you making eye contact? You're not making eye contact. Oh, is that why she doesn't make any eye contact with you? Because filling blanks, right? Schizophrenics are basically the total set of people in that song. Some of them want to use you, some of them want to get used by you. That's the schizoid. That's the schizophrenic. The people that get caught up in the kind of endless Jovian storm of global witchcraft. Mutual annihilation and human sacrifice. TV, physics, everything in its alphanumeric connotations, language, the language, all the languages of the world. You languish, language, right? You languish in your language. You languish in your anguish, right? Your anguish, your anguish, and you languish in your anguish and your language. What others do. Again, I'm the other side. The person you talk about all the time. Right. Hey? Don't fucking bullshit. Don't back and talk shit about me, you ugly cunts. Hey? Don't fucking talk shit about me. I'll come back to you. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And these women, they exploit my mom. They exploit the fact that she has been shocked in her relations with men. So that a primary male is always kind of a scapegoat to her, or she scapegoats as a verb the primary male in her life, to the point that she still doesn't acknowledge anything nice about her children. But when she acknowledges the worst thing about what she thinks about one of her children, she always compares them to their dad. The only thing that can be wrong with us is that we're like our father, ever. It's something my mom has been doing my whole life. If she needs something from him, if she needs to get rid of her children, oh, he's a great father. But in anything else she doesn't like about us, it's his fault. Her life, it's his fault, right? She's scapegoating him. My mother, she was happy. I don't really want to know you. I don't want to be your friend anymore. I know you. Alright? Because I wear dolls for faces. So just let me tell you that, okay? If you come up here, I'm going to charge you with sexual assault. You understand? It's really serious. You or your mother choose to talk to me in public. It's like you get respected in public. Men get respected in public. You are disturbed. I expect not to be disturbed. And they don't practice equality. They want to be able to treat men in a way that they never want to be treated. Now they're sick, so they don't really know what they're doing. And you might say, well, it's not fair to the whole equality movement, but you're going to have trouble with men in terms of convincing them about what you want in equality when they're not treated the way that women want to be treated. Right? That's going to be a problem. You might say, well, that's too bad. The reason a queen is spelled with a Q in the English language is because of the Q angle. So a tranny in the media, not like any other tranny, a cross-gender actor or actress, has to deal with the Q angle because the hips and stuff like that and the way you walk or run is one of the critical things about women. So there's a tranny woman on Heartland, and when you see her, she moves or walks with an exaggerated female gait. And they try to convince you that they're completely one gender. very humid now. Listen to these lyrics. Joan Osborne. Ah! Woo! Not enough air. There's a lot of water in here. Woo! What if God was one of us? And God is a filthy animal. Just a slob like one of us, trying to make his way home. Think about that. So, presuming it's all about identity, right? Attributing God's identity to you, it may as well supplant your identity. In fact, God is always trying to supplant your identity. God wants to become you. God wants to become all the mass of history. Behind all of history is God, which is the central principle of global spellcraft and dominion, and ceremonial magic and human sacrifice. And that's God's world. God is a disgusting piece of shit. So God projects himself into you, right? Like a Christian freak will say, Jesus is inside of you. They're giving you a certain identity and then prosecuting you because Jesus is someone they torture. And so they set up an instrument of torture by torturing Jesus and then projecting Jesus into you. Every child born is Jesus, and they're all crucified. They learn to cross their eyes and dot their teeth, to be schizoid of the I abuse you, you abuse me. Let's get together to get the scapegoat, demonic world of ceremonial global magic. They cannot, you see young females today, especially, they cannot be peaceful. They cannot get along with others. And they certainly, you got some of them who want to fuck older men, and others who want nothing to do with them and don't like them at all. Don't think they have any opinion worth noting. It's disgusting. It's really happened, right? They've really done so much magic to turn various genders of various age against each other so that young women either want to fuck me or they want to sacrifice me or both. Very little in between. That's good. They want to tell men what to do. They want to move them around. It's very creepy. It's very creepy. You never know what you're going to get from a young white female or groups of them. It's incredible, but it's hardly ever neutral. They're not neutral with respect to middle-aged men at all, ever. They either think you're a creep or ready to, or they want to mount you. It's like, it's you see that that electrical dislocation that demands whatever way they approach you, the inevitable violence or the inevitable discharge of various disequilibriums in their own mind that have no moral agent, but that you may be tasked at some point to bear the load of all moral agency as their scapegoat. That's patriarchy, the practice of ceremonial male sacrifice. And you're not crazy if you feel like different types of women mistreat you, especially if you're Rh negative, for instance, of any kind, who isn't necessarily glommed into the system like other people. Women become like police officers. I had a dream about police officers last night. It's about
people can be quite demonic without knowing it. Look at the righteous ones. Look at the vegans and vegetarians who like to think they're the righteous ones. It's a new type of religion where you can have the righteous identity. Look at how many homosexuals, no offense, who want to have the righteous identity, the identity of righteousness. Not always, but ways that people who grow up as Christians become homosexual, and it's all about the righteousness of their sexual orientation, of their identity as homosexual, and the right to other identities around. The game of identity, right? You threaten their magical thinking, they'll assign more and more problematic identities to you, and then sick of because now your identity has been made out to be the scapegoat. Now it's like it's okay to discharge on them. So other members of the group can piss on you or discharge things on you or use you for catharsis. When people in a group start discharging on you, it's very dangerous, right? Even if you know the leader of the group, and it's like, right? The leader of the group projects an identity onto you that does not preserve the integrity of your voice in your own safety. This may go on for years before anything happens. It's just something to think about. Identity politics is really ceremonial magic. And it's always involved gender and crossing gender, right? Doesn't mean we throw out gender. Doesn't mean we throw out your gender identity of choice or birth. We're just saying gender is an area of political interest because it remains a persuasive part of how people may unintentionally be collected into subversive and sacrificial ceremonial magic of a global and national scale. This is why I upload the last 5 videos I make every day. You become used in your identity as what I might call the schizoid, which is always a group issue, never a singular issue. I'm going to put this camera away, it's still too wet.